All right, now on to video number 3. So I'm using the two pieces of paper that I taped together just to show you how it can be done. Remember, the tape needs to be on the back side of the paper. You shouldn't see the tape or feel the tape, all right? Yeah, there's a little bit of a gap there. I could have taped it a little bit better, but it's not going to damage anything. It's going to be easy to work around. So now that we've got it in place, we've got the 1-inch border and a horizon line. Remember, you're going to now use what you learned with 1-point linear perspective, mix it in with the 2-point linear perspective, and mix it in with aerial perspective, where you have the 3 grounds: foreground, middle ground, and background, objects existing on the ground to create the illusion of space and depth. You do need to include these objectives. So let's talk about them. You need to have a building using 2 vanishing points on this horizon line. You need to have 2 faces showing, one face going to one vanishing point and another face going to the opposite vanishing point. Remember that all the objects on one face of a building go to the same vanishing point that is the face they're on. So this door, this window at the top and at the bottom go to the vanishing point at the right, whereas this window's bottom and top and the little line that divides the window panes, they all go to the vanishing point at the left. The top of the box of the house goes to the same vanishing point as the bottom of the house on that side of the face. You don't need to include a step up, but I recommend that you do. It looks more believable. Remember, everything goes, if it's attached to that face and it's using the same, it's parallel at the bottom of the object in reality, it needs to go to the same vanishing point that it's attached to. Okay? Remember, you do need to include at least one sidewalk and at least part of a street into your picture. You can have 2 sidewalks like I've done here and 2 streets, but you might find it difficult to fit it all in and to be creative. Now, I don't want you to just redraw this project. If you can become more creative, please do. But if this is the best you can do, just to recreate that onto the paper and to develop the marking system to make it more interesting, then that's fine. But remember, it needs to have at least one building with a door and a window on one wall and a window on another wall. It needs to have a roof. It needs to be using 2-point perspective. You need to have a sidewalk and a street, and you need to have mountains in the background. You need to have a tree in the foreground at the bottom, near the bottom, and another tree in the middle ground, and you can do one in the background. You could do a whole forest back here. You could do an orchard. You could do a cityscape. It doesn't have to be a house. It could be a really tall building. And that brings me to the next thing. Please go to the examples on LeClaire's Art Classes Facebook page and look at those examples. There's a link on the project directions for the overall project, not just this assignment page, but the original assignment page for this project. It has a couple examples at the top of the paper, but it has more examples in a link that takes you to Facebook page. It also has another link that gives you some other examples. So take the time to look it over. You could do a Pinterest search on different tree types. There are lots of different things you could do to make this more interesting for yourself to do and to extend your skills as an artist. So that's your line drawing. Eventually we'll talk about doing textures and values onto their surfaces, and that'll be the next video on the set of videos, all right, for this assignment. Get it all set up, guys.